Hi all, so today's video is a different take on a Valentine's nail. I'm using the White Addict by Nail Reserve for my background on this. The inspiration for this comes from a snuddy, is it called a snuddy? That my husband got me for Christmas. It's a reversible one, it's really cute actually. One side has burger, fries and hot dogs on, and the reversible side is green with all the vegetables on. I will try and pop a picture on. I am voice overing because I wasn't sure whether I was going to speed up the video or not. As it is, I've left it all pretty much normal speed. Some of the outlining later on I do speed up because otherwise it'd get a little repetitive. So yeah, this is kind of like a tutorial or watch me go burger and fries nails. So I have painted my white base and I have matte top coated just because I prefer to do art on a matte top coat. And these are just some of the colours I am using. So I have the coffee brown pudding gel for the burger. I have the creme brulee for the bun. Blackjack for the outline. Sunshine yellow for the cheese. The Glossify red for the fries carton. Nail Reserve for the eyes. Was it Rocket Man I used for my lace, and I mixed that with a bit of yellow to get the shade I want. So this is the creme brulee. I'm using a mix of different brands for starters and a mix of gel polish and gel paint. But this is creme brulee by Madame Glam, and this one's a gel polish. And I'm just doing the base of my burger. This is going to be the colour for my bun. I could have probably sped this up into a quicker tutorial, but I wasn't sure whether or not some of you'd appreciate just real time and normal time, so you could follow along as I went and paused if you wanted to give it a go. And so you can see how relatively not that long it took me actually. I was surprised. I did expect to take it longer. This was just me figuring out how wide I wanted it to be, but then I wanted them kind of holding hands, so I made it a little wider. Now, I didn't have a brown in gel polish, so I am using my coffee gel paint by Madame Glam. And I am just painting my burger. Now, you will notice the burger ends up thicker than what it looks now, and that is because I painted it, put it into cure, then it came out and I thought, no, you're just too skinny, because I needed to put cheese on it and other bits. So I end up adding an extra line to it and then whacking it back into cure. But yeah, and I end up, because the gel paint is slightly raised, I kind of patted it a bit just to give it a little more, I don't know, more depth without adding more colour, because it moves gel from some places to others, so it still kind of gives it a dappley effect, which I quite liked. Right, and that's cured, and as you can see, my burger has thickened. So I'm going in with, this is Scarlet Red, and I do believe this one is Glossified. This came in one of my nail mail boxes. It's a 1-coat gel paint. And I'm using this for my slice of tomato. And just a line. I'm just trying to keep it level with the burger, but realistically it could be wider than it could be smaller than it, because, yeah, it doesn't really matter. And I'm painting my cheese on now before I cure, just because it saved me time. I did debate adding a bit of red to that yellow to make it a little more orangey, but then I decided the yellow cheese would kind of tie in a little bit with the yellow fries, maybe. But as it was, it turned out looking nice. I'm kind of glad I left it yellow, because I think it stands out more with the below the red tomato. I think if it had been orange, it wouldn't have maybe stood out as much. But I do this and then I cure. I'm curing after each little step just to make it easier on myself. Now next up, I mixed a bit of my green gel polish, my Rocket Man, with a bit of my Sunshine Yellow gel paint because it wasn't quite the shade I wanted. It was a little too bright. And I don't know, this seems more lettucey. Now your line on this one does not need to be straight. I start painting it straight and then I waggle my brush a little bit because, well, lettuce isn't flat sometimes. So I was just giving it a little, I don't know, something. So I do that and cure. And then I am going back in with the creme brulee for my burger top, which is going to be his head and his face. I did originally plan to do the reverse side of the hoodie with the vegetables because they're adorable and I think they'd make a really cute set of nails. But then I was looking at the burger and fries because I've had my snuddy on all day. It's been bloody freezing, and that thing is as warm as hell. It's awesome, best present ever. But I was looking at it and I just thought, oh, burger and fries, they'd make such a cute little Valentine's thing, because what goes better together than burger and fries? And I really, really fancied a McDonald's. And I still do, actually. I gave up smoking, and now all I want to do is eat, and eat crap at that. Okay, so that's cured. I forgot to film, but I did dotting tool his eyes with the gel paint. And now I am just priming my brush to go out of camera so you can't see a thing I'm doing, but I'm giving him a smiley face. Now, on my snuddy, they have cute little pink cheeks, but it was looking so good as it was, I really didn't want to push my luck, so I smiley face him and then I cure. And I switch to my D-liner, which is a much better behaved brush. And I outline. Now this one is not real time like the others. This one is slightly sped up, but only very slightly. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 minutes for me to outline it. And I think I sped this section up, so it's like a minute and just under 2 minutes, I think. I mean, I've tried to keep my lines as thin as possible, so in some places they aren't as dark as others because I didn't have enough gel paint on my brush. But overall, I don't think the effect is bad, and I quite like him. He's adorable. So you want to use a really, really fine brush for this section. I've done it all in one go and then cured, but by all means do it in sections and cure. And when you're using a fine brush, use only the tip of it. Now this one's quite a long brush. This is a 9mm brush, I do believe, the D-liner. But I'm only using the first couple of millimeters and the lightest touch, because the further down towards the barrel of the brush you get, the thicker your line ends up being. So as you can see, when I lay my brush flat like I just did then, it spreads a little more and the line looks a little thicker than it does in other places, and for some reason I cut out there. So I finished outlining off camera. But what you saw me do there was just put the nails next to each other so I could measure where the bottom of my burger was, because I wanted them kind of standing at the same height, or at least similar. So I'm just outlining my fries packet. I do make him a little wider, just so they don't have as far to reach to hold hands. And I'm just lining them up to make sure they're still a good size, because I don't want one to be drastically bigger than the other. I kind of want them similar sized. So I've cured that, and now I'm going in with the yellow gel paint. I do some single lines, But then I realised the bulk of the fries are just that they're all going to be in the same area. So I kind of do jaggedy, messy yellow and then some long sticks coming out in random directions, and those are going to be my single fries. And I'll outline those ones and then just a few random lines in the box just to show the other fries, but I realised there was no point painting each individual fry. So I will keep faffing with that for a moment and then I will nuke it. So we've cured again and we are going back in again. And I do believe I outlined this one first. I do, before doing his smiley face. Watching this back is really making me want some French fries. I was watching Criminal Minds while I was painting the nails, so hence the voiceover. I've started watching it back from the beginning again. See, these ones is easier shapes. Well, even the burger actually is. With the burger, I kind of did it layer by layer, and it's the same with the fries. It's like the basic block shape, and then there's a nice gentle curve which your brush should just sweep across. Your main issue is the fries. You just need to make sure you don't have too much gel on your brush, and it's a nice fine one, and you're just using the point, and then just straight lines. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, some of my lines are thinner and thicker, and that's perfectly fine because Lord knows we do not get a perfectly straight French fry. They're crooked as hell. And I do keep dipping off camera. I tried a lot harder today to stay in view of the camera. I do love a good McDonald's. I remember once for Valentine's Day a lot of years ago, we'd gone out to the cinema and we were going to go get food afterwards, but by the time the film had finished at the cinemas, it was so late we actually ended up with McDonald's. And he was so annoyed because he'd wanted to take me on the perfect night out, the perfect date night. And I was like, well, I don't care. You know, we saw a nice film, we spent the night together. Even if we had McDonald's, I was still happy. And there we go, a nice happy little smile. We don't really go out very much for Valentine's. We're more just, yeah. I'm quite happy to celebrate another time, or just be glad of the fact we're together. So we gave him some little feet. And I gave my burger little feet, but I did that off camera. There's his little feet. Now I'm just measuring up his arm with the burger's little sticky out arm so they can hold some hands. So I hope you have all enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you give my little burger and fries a go. I do glossy top coat these, which is here. And then I matte top coat them afterwards because I just couldn't decide which one I liked better, matte or shiny. Matte definitely takes pictures better than shiny. But I hope you follow along. I hope you give it a go. And please leave me a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And check out some of my other videos. And I should have more coming up soon for you. Thanks guys. Bye.